else feel this way? Does anyone else feel this way when they are just so emotionally like stressed and anxious and going through it? They just want to throw everything away? Like, is it just me? What is this coping mechanism? Good morning. I'm headed to downtown today. I have a few things that I want to do. I actually want to go to a cafe and get some work done. I do have acupuncture later in the afternoon, but I also want to go to the Cause store because I've been eyeing this cashmere like crew neck sweater of theirs for quite a long time, but it isn't cheap. It is like kind of pricey, so I just want to go see if they have it in store, see if I can try it on and see if it's actually something that I want. It's a pretty popular sweater, so I'm hoping that they have it. I don't know. I actually realized this winter I don't have many like nice sweaters that I like. This is one of them. This is from Black Goat, I believe. And then I have one crew neck sweater that's gray from Cezanne, but I feel like the Cezanne one isn't made of all natural fibers, and so it's very like stretchy and the shape sometimes doesn't lay right. This one is alpaca cashmere, and by far this sweater has just like lasted through the tests of time so much better. I've had this for two or three years now, and it is still in amazing condition. It looks good. It is just, yeah, I don't know. Quality matters. I'm starting to learn that more and more in like everything I do and everything I wear. So I'm just packing up to go now. I'm gonna bring this brown tote, and then I'm gonna just put a coat on. Hopefully I won't be doing too much walking. I did also bring a book with me so that I could read. I'm currently reading Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll, and it is so good. Like, I don't know why I put off reading this for so long, but man, the writing is amazing, and it does actually talk about the Bundy murders, which I didn't know that it was about that. Like, I actually didn't know it was based on a true story. I thought it was just like a serial killer story, but no, it is based on the Bundy case. So yeah, it's been super interesting to read so far, and I'm excited just to get a little bit of work done and then a little bit of reading in at the cafe today. I just tried to go to Cause, but it's not open yet, unfortunately, so I think I'm gonna try to go get some coffee. Maybe I'll do some reading first, and then I will go to Cause after, before acupuncture. I'm just trying to like time everything correctly, but it is so cold. Hey, so I'm sitting at one of my favorite cafes right now, just writing a little bit for both my newsletter and then also planning for some content that I need to film this week. And I am working on a new edition of the newsletter where I talk about like all the lessons that I've learned, or specifically 29 lessons that I've learned in my 29 years of life. And it's an article that I want to publish closer to my 30th birthday, which is in May, and I'm just like feeling the feels while I'm trying to write this article, I guess, because I don't know. I am reflecting on my journey as a content creator, my career journey, my personal journey. I'm looking back at feelings that I had felt when I was in my early 20s and the things that I was going through, and it's just such a trip, to say the least. I love doing these type of like roundup pieces of writing or content because it is a nice reminder to look back and actually think about all the lessons that you've learned over the years. I think I was 24, maybe 23, when I had made my first YouTube video around this sort of like roundup topic of like 23 things I learned in my 23 years of life or whatever. I'll see if I can still find that video, but I watched that back last year and it was honestly kind of embarrassing. But however cringe I felt like I was in that video, it was really interesting to rewatch that video and kind of look at like my, I guess like thoughts on life and my perspective on things. And it was very obvious what I was going through at the time, which was a lot of loneliness, a lot of like lost self-discovery, also a little bit of like jadedness when it comes to relationships. Yeah, I don't know. I was definitely going through a stage during that video. I don't remember if I've made any more. I'm gonna try to find them though, but I'm sure there's going to be a day where I look back onto this article and think, oh my God, what was I thinking? I was so naive, or I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I mean, that's kind of the joy with these little snapshots of your life, because they are just that. They're a snapshot of like one small period in your life, much like journaling is, much like, you know, YouTube is. But no matter what you thought about yourself at the time, I do want to kind of like extend the same, I guess, like kindness and acceptance that I would my friends. Like when I see old videos of my friends, I would never think, oh my God, that's so cringe. Like I'm always thinking, oh my God, you were so young, you were so cute, whatever it is. But when you look back at snapshots of your own life, all you can usually do is judge, which I don't know why we do this. But anyways, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm just having a little bit of a walk down memory lane and like reminiscing on some of those moments and life experiences. And, you know, even if you don't have a YouTube channel or you don't have a blog or a newsletter, I think it is a worthwhile exercise for you to go through, maybe just in like your journal or on a scrap piece of paper or whatever, and try to list down lessons that you've learned over however many years of life that you have been living. I think it's just a great mental exercise to go through, because it really just shows you like your perspective on everything that's going on relationships, on work, on, you know, self-love, on growth, on being alone, everything. I'm just having a moment, I guess. I always link my newsletter in the description box, so if you don't want to miss out on this juicy newsletter where I share my new perspective at age 29 and everything that I've learned in my 29 years, then make sure you go and subscribe to that. It will be published on my Substack, but that Substack does get sent out to the entire newsletter list, so as long as you sign up via the link in the description, you will get all the newsletters and personal musings that I write and share with the entire internet, or not really the entire internet, more just my newsletter fam. And that's my little ramble of this vlog, I guess. They didn't have the sweater that I wanted. He said that it's like a super popular style, which, I mean, makes sense. I did find it like on social media. Why are you such a dick?
Water Street, then turn left.
People are such assholes when they drive. Oh my god. Okay, anywho, he said that it was so popular that it sold out really, really quickly, and so we don't have any in the stores in Vancouver, and I would have to order them. But the crappy thing about living in Canada is there are such high shipping fees, and on top of the shipping fees we have really high customs as well, so that always is such an annoying thing about shopping as a Canadian. Also, the Cause website doesn't have like a Canadian version, so it is in US dollar, which makes it actually a lot less worth it for us because our dollar is so low right now. And with the exchange rate, like the international fees on my credit card, I just don't think it's going to be worth it. However, he did say that it is a bit of a cost staple and it's something that gets brought back year after year, so maybe I'll just like hold out and wait until next year and see if I can get it while I'm traveling or something, because I just don't see it being worth it for me to buy it like now and have to incur all the costs that comes with that. I did like that thinner cashmere sweater as well. It felt so nice on the body, but it just wasn't what I was going in there for, so it makes me not really want to like spend $290 on, you know, a sweater that wasn't the one that I wanted. A bit of a bummer, but all good. It wasn't meant to be today. Plus, I am saving money, so that is always a good thing. Like, I don't mind not being able to find the things that I want sometimes, because at the end of the day, it's some extra dollars I can put into my savings, so that's great. Day was so long today. I don't know, it's only 4, but I don't know, I'm just feeling tired today, maybe. I did edit 2 whole videos though today, which I'm very, very proud of, so I'm treating myself to some late lunch. And then I'm reading an advanced reader copy of Immaculate Conception by Lin Huang. I loved Natural Beauty by her last year when I read it, so yeah, I'm just excited to see what this one is all about. I honestly am still so amazed that authors actually, or like publishers, want me to read these books and give them my opinions. So I'm just gonna bathe in that for a second, enjoy this luxury of getting to read books before they are published, and yeah. Let me read you the summary from Goodreads. It says, from the author of Natural Beauty, set in the fiercely competitive art world, a novel about an obsessive friendship upending by a cutting-edge technology purported to enhance empathy and connection. Anka meets Mathilde in art school. Mathilde is a dizzyingly talented yet tortured artist whose star is on the rise, and Anka, struggling to make art that feels original, is immediately drawn to her. The two strike up an intense bond that soon turns codependent, but when Mathilde's fame reaches new heights, Anka becomes desperate to keep her best friend close, no matter what the cost. Anka quickly falls in love with and marries a billionaire whose family's company is funding an unconventional technology purported to heighten empathy, which could allow someone else to inhabit Mathilde's mind and absorb the trauma from her brain. Soon, the boundaries between Mathilde and Anka begin to blur even further, setting in motion a disturbing series of events that forever changes their lives. Blisteringly smart and thought-provoking and shocking, Immaculate Conception deftly navigates big questions of art, technology, authorship, and what makes us human. That was one aspect I really enjoyed about Natural Beauty, was like the haunting premise of it and how disturbing yet like relatable. If I think back now, Natural Beauty does remind me a lot of the premise of Substance, like The Substance, the film. Yeah, it's just about the beauty world and the the depths that people are willing to sink to keep themselves beautiful. Very excited to get started on this. Okay, this is kind of an interesting aspect of the book. So apparently the world has been given designations, so you're either an enclave person or a fringe person, and I'm guessing that just means like in or out, rich or poor maybe. It really is just another like hierarchy of class, I guess. So she says you were either an enclave kid or a fringe kid, and that title meant everything. As a fringe kid, I had to move schools and my parents had to take such circuitous routes to work. They were eventually fired for being persistent tardiness. Not only was upward mobility made impossible, but swimming in place wasn't even an option. So these buffers were being erected all across the country, and it prevents contamination, aka like the mixing of enclave and fringe people. Also, if I'm saying that word wrong, enclave, I don't think I've ever had to say that word out loud before. But yeah, even across the internet, it follows you through your IP address. So I'm definitely curious to see how this is going to come into play, other than another way of her saying like the rich versus the poor, but interesting way to look at it. I am feeling fucked up. There's some like seriously messed up, just really emotional, awful things happening, and anyways, the only way I feel like I can deal with this right now is by purging again. Purging is quite literally my saving grace these days. So we're gonna clean, we're gonna purge today. Maybe we'll chat about going through hard emotions or something, but I need to do something because I am struggling, to say the least. I have a tote. I have a box that I'm going to fill with books that I don't think I'm going to read, that it's time for me to let go of and donate. And we're going to start from there and just see. I want to just get rid of everything. Like at this point, it's just... Does anyone else feel this way? Does anyone else feel this way when they are just so emotionally like stressed and anxious and going through it? They just want to throw everything away? Like, is it just me? What is this coping mechanism?